Hello, dear students. I hope you are well. Nowadays, we are going through digital electronics chapters and we are revising it. And I have many video tutorials on this. In the recent video tutorials, we have seen the paper tools, that is digital electronics chapters, which were dealing with the logic families. In the logic family, we have seen the classification of logic families, how bipolar logic families, or what are the bipolar logic families, what are unipolar logic families, what is saturated logic families, what is non-saturated logic families. Then in unipolar, we have seen PMOS, NMOS and CMOS. In the logic families, we have already discussed on the TTL logic family and CMOS logic family. These two families are combined or included in our syllabus, so that is why we have discussed on TTL logic family and CMOS logic family only. In CMOS logic family, we have seen how CMOS gates or CMOS devices are used to construct the logic gates. We have seen NOT gate, NOR gate and NAND gate using CMOS. Similarly, in the TTL logic family, we have seen NOT gate, NOR gate and NAND gate. You might have a question that why NOR gate and NAND gate are used, because these two gates are actually used as a universal gates, and we can construct all other remaining gates using TTL NAND gate or NOR gate. So that is why in the logic families we have only discussed about NAND gate and NOR gate. In both the cases, CMOS and TTL, we have seen NAND gate and NOR gate. Now, in the last period also, we have discussed on the parameters of logic families. Parameters such as noise margin, fan in, fan out, and then propagation delay, and so on. These parameters are actually used to compare which logic family is better to use it as a logic gate. So that is why those parameters are very important. We have seen their definitions, their meanings, and what is their ideal value for the logic families, and these parameters are very useful. So in the logic family, these are the topics we have already discussed. Now in today's lecture, one topic we have left behind, that topic is TSL, that is tri-state logic. In the logic circuits, generally there are only two states of output, that is high and low, and the output of any logic circuit or any logic gate must be in any one of these states. So this was the ideal or most popular conditions of input and output, that is it should be high or low. So input has two levels, that is high or low, and in the similar way output will also have two levels, that is high or low. But in the most complex digital systems or circuits like microprocessor, microcomputers, or when number of gates are combined and their outputs is required to be connected to a common line, and that common line is mostly called as bus. In the next chapter, that is computer fundamentals, you will have the clear idea about bus. Actually, bus is nothing but it is the bunch of wires or bunch of tracks which carries data, and there are three types of buses used in digital computation. One is called as address bus, which carries the data of addresses where the data is to be carried out. The second bus is called as control bus, and this control bus actually carries the control signals. That means what function has to be done on the data. So that signals carries control signals. So that is why that bunch of line or bunch of wires or bunch of tracks is called as control bus. The third bus is called as the data bus. Data bus is in digital computations, in many circuits there is requirement of carrying data from one circuit to another circuit, and these wires or bunch of wires or tracks is called as data bus, and this data bus actually carries the data. So these are the buses, and when these buses are carried out in the circuits, they are to be connected with many circuits, and these buses works commonly for all the circuits. So whenever these buses or number of gates or number of outputs of many gates may require to be connected to a common line, and that is called as bus, and this bus uh, is required to handle the data at randomly or at the same time simultaneously. So the bus may be required to drive number of gates inputs. So many gates are connected to the common bus, and but it has some drawbacks. The drawbacks are like this. So the drawbacks, from the drawbacks we can see that we have seen the output of TTL gates, and output of TTL gate at the output of TTL gate we have seen TTL gates like NOR gate, NOT gate, and NAND gate. In the circuits of TTL gates, you have seen that the output of these gates are connected in the totem pole fashion. Totem pole fashion. Let's have a look at the diagram. There are two transistors. They are coupled in series connection. From power supply, there is a current limiting resistor of 130 ohms, then transistor T3, then there is a diode which is connected in between two transistors, and at the end there is another transistor, and the emitter of this T4, it is connected to ground. So the circuit connection from the power supply's positive VCC will be like this, that the current will first enter to the resistor, then to transistor T3, and then it will enter to diode D, and then it will enter to transistor T4 and ground. So this is the path of the current from power supply to ground at the output. Now this type of circuit where the output is connected in between, or output is obtained in between the two transistors, they are connected in series. This type of fashion of taking output is called as totem pole output. In the totem pole output, you might have seen the diode connected between two transistors, because whenever the T4 transistor is off, the reverse current should not enter to the transistor T3. So to avoid this, to create the isolations for reverse current, there is a diode connected in between two transistors. After the diodes, there is a output we have taken here. So this type of output is called a totem pole output. In totem pole output, one thing is common, that if one of the transistor is on, at the same time the other transistor will be off. So that type of output is called as totem pole output. Now the drawbacks of bus, when bus is a common line and when the outputs of such type of TTL gates is connected commonly, suppose this is one of the gate and another gate's output is also connected there, it has some drawback. The first drawback of totem pole output is like this. If the totem pole output is connected together, then all the circuits or all the gates, they are connected to a common power supply plus VCC. So when this type of gates has a high output and these outputs are connected together at the bus, there will be a large current drain from the power supply. And if the current is large, then there will be opposition by all the gates if their outputs are commonly connected to the bus. So due to which what will happen, these gates will get heated, and the consequent heating of ICs which may get damaged. So ICs may get damaged because of the large current drain. So it is not possible to connect outputs of all the gates, and the outputs are, if they are connected in totem pole fashion, these outputs, if they are connected commonly to the bus, there will be large current drain and the IC will get heated, and which will further may get damaged. So this is the first drawback of totem pole outputs if they are connected together to a bus. Now let's move to second drawback. The second drawback of output is regarding open collector. In the circuit diagram you can see what is meant by, first let us see what is meant by open collector output. In the TTL gates, totem pole output is constructed by two transistor and one diode. If the transistor T3, that is the upper transistor, if it is removed, and the collector of transistor T4, it is only taken for the output, then such type of output is called as open collector output. Why? Because you can see in the transistor T4, the collector of this transistor is taken at the output and the upper circuit, it is removed. So nothing is connected to the collector. So that collector is open. So that is why it is called as open collector. And you can see in the diagram that the collector pin is taken out of the IC to connect the output. Now at the output, if output is to be connected to other circuit, some current has to be passed through the collector of this transistor T4. So to pass a current, we have to connect a external resistor with respect to the power supplies plus VCC. In the diagram you can see there is a written one word, passive pull-up resistor. So that external resistor, if it is connected out of the IC externally, this resistor is a passive element or passive component. So that is why it is called as passive pull-up resistor. So when it is connected to the power supplies plus VCC, the current will pass through it, and if the transistor is on, it will sink to the ground through transistor T4. If the transistor is off, then it will further move to the output. So in this way, open collector outputs are taken. But open collector outputs cannot be connected together with common collector resistor connected externally. And this causes the problem of loading and speed of operation. Now let us see what is the meaning of connecting common collector resistor externally. Now we can see here the passive pull-up is connected to the collector and the power supplies plus VCC. This is only for one gate. Suppose we have another gate and its output is also connected as open collector output, and if output of these two gates has to be connected to a common bus, then we do not have to bother about connecting another passive pull-up for another gate. So same passive pull-up resistor will work for both the gates. So the resistor is common here. So if open collector output is connected together and the resistor is common, this will load the circuit. That means the output of first gate as well as the output of second gate, it will have a delay in the output. So we have already defined what is meant by propagation delay. I will repeat here. Propagation delay is nothing but, suppose we have a gate and the output is suppose high at this moment, and suppose the input conditions are changed and the output is now suppose changing. The time taken by the gate to change its output when the input conditions has been changed, that time is called as propagation delay. So if open collector outputs of many gates is connected commonly to a passive pull-up resistor, then these outputs of gates will be delayed. So propagation delay time for all the gates is increased. So if propagation delay time is increasing, to reach the input condition at the output, the time will be increased, and if the time is increasing, the propagation delay will be increased. So in commonly we can say, if open collector output is commonly taken, then propagation delay times of all gates will be increased. So it will load the circuit, and if loading is there, then there will be definitely decrease in the speed of the operation of the circuit. So in open collector, transistor T3 is removed and the collector is taken out, and that is the meaning of open collector. So if totem pole output is taken, then there will be a problem of large current drain, and there will be problem of heating of IC. And if the open collector outputs are taken, there will be problem of loading and speed of operation. So to remove these two problems, we have to arrange the circuit like TSL gate or tri-state logic. So let us see what is meant by tri-state logic. In logic circuits, generally there are only two states of output, that is high or low, and the output must be in any one of these states. So but this circuit is a circuit where the output will be high or low, and there is another state which is called as high impedance. So that is why total states of output are 3. So the problems arise due to commonly connected open collector output and commonly connected totem pole outputs. These two difficulties, special circuit have been developed, and in which there is one more state of output, and this referred to as third state of output, and this state is the high impedance state. And in addition to low and high states of the output, there is a third state that is called as the high impedance state, and that is why these circuits are known as tri-state logic or three-state logic. In this topic, we will only discuss about the tri-state inverter, that is NOT gate with tri-state output as shown in the figure. A TSL inverter has a 3 state of output, high, low, and the third state is a high impedance state. Let us see the diagram. In the circuit diagram, you can see the transistor T1, T2, T3, diode D and T4, and the remaining resistor, they are connected as it is the TTL inverter. Additional components connected here are only that there is a diode which is connected between the collector of T2 and input control input. There is additional diode which is connected here at the collector of the transistor T2, and the transistor T1 in TTL NOT gate, it is converted to multi-emitter transistor. That means additional emitter is connected here, and the additional emitter of transistor T1 and the cathode of diode, it is commonly connected, and this commonly connected terminal, it is called here as a control input. The transistor T1's second emitter, it is connected to the data input. So here you can see that there are two inputs, that is control input and data input. At the output, there is only one output. So data input A and Y, this will forms a NOT gate, and we have designed a control input here to control the function of this tri-state inverter. So this was all about the circuit diagram, and here you can see one additional transistor is connected here. The transistor's T2's collector, it is connected to base of transistor T5, and you can see the collector of transistor T3, it is connected to the collector of transistor T5. So the circuit will work like this. If the collectors of transistor T3, if it is off, then the current from the transistor T5, it will flow through transistor T5 and it will enter to the base of transistor T3. So you can see for conducting transistor T5, we must have high voltage at the base of transistor T5. So these are the three components, they are changed here, that is diode, then transistor T1's emitter, and additional transistor T5. So these are the three components which will, if it is implemented or designed like this, then this transistor circuit will work like a transistor tri-state logic. So let us have look at the input condition and output condition. Let us discuss about the working of this transistorized circuit. Now, as we know that there are two inputs, so there will be possibility of four possibility will be there of inputs. Let's have a look at the truth table. There will be two inputs as control input and data input, and let us see what will be the output. Suppose the control input is connected to 0 and let the data input is also connected to 0. So control input in the diagram is shown to be connected at the ground, and the data input is also connected to the ground. That means these two input conditions are 0 right now. If control input is 0, then what is happening actually? See, if control input is here 0, it is connected to ground. The cathode of diode is connected to the ground, as well as the anode of the diode, it is connected to the collector of T2, and T2 is connected at the power supply. So you can see the current from 1.4 kilo ohm resistor, it will enter to the collector, and from the collector it will not flow to transistor T2, but it will directly flow towards the ground through diode D. Why? Because in this case, this diode cathode is connected to negative terminal and the anode is connected to positive terminal through transistor 1.4 kilo ohm towards positive VCC. So in this way, this diode is getting forward bias. So if the diode is getting forward bias, all the current from the power supply, it will enter to 1.4 kilo ohm resistor and it will sink towards the ground through diode D. So no current will flow towards transistor T2. So if the data input is right now 0, then what is happening? Data input, that is the emitter of transistor T1, it is connected to ground. Then the base of transistor T1, it is also connected to power supplies plus VCC. So here also the transistor T1's emitter is also connected to ground. So all the current from the power supplies plus VCC through resistor 1 kilo ohm, it will enter to the ground. So no current is flowing towards transistor T1's collector. So if transistor T1 collector has no current, there will be low output at the collector of transistor T1, and the T1's collector, it is connected to base of transistor T2. If base of transistor has low input voltage, then this transistor T2 will be off. So if it is off, no current will flow towards the ground through transistor T2. So in this way, if no current is flowing towards the transistor T1, there will be obviously low voltage at the transistor T4. So right now the transistor T4 is also off. Now from the upper circuit you can see the diode is sinking the current, so no current will flow towards the base of T5 also. So base of T5 is low, so T5 will be off. If T5 is off, then no current from the power supply through resistor 130 ohm, it will enter to the collector, and that collector is off right now. So no current is passing through transistor T5. That means the transistor T5 is also off. If T5 is off, there will be no voltage at the emitter. So the base of transistor T3 is not getting any voltage. So right now the T3 is also off. So here at the output you can see both the transistor, that is T4 is off, T3 is also off. So in the previous TTL circuits, and that is NOT gate, NAND gate, NOR gate, this condition was never arrived. One of the transistor was on and one of the transistor was off, but here both the transistors are off. So if both the transistors are off, then they will offer high resistance. So overall at the output, if you combinedly consider the resistance of output, that term, it is called as the impedance. So overall impedance of this circuit at the output will be high. So that is why this state is called as high impedance. So if control input is 0, data input is 0, then this condition is arising, that is high impedance state. So this was the first condition we have discussed here. Now let's move to second condition. Second condition is, suppose control input is still connected to 0 and data input is now changed to higher. Let us see. If control input is 0, then the current from collector of T2 is still sinking towards the ground. So same condition is there, that is T5 will be off, and if T5 is off, then T3 will be also off. So all the current is flowing towards ground. So then second, that is the data input A, it is now suppose connected to plus VCC, but it has no effect because in the multi-emitter transistor, emitters are connected parallelly and one of the emitter is connected to ground because of the control input, because the emitter is connected to control input also. So all the current from the power supply through 1 kilo ohm, it will still sinking towards the ground. So T1 is still is on, and because of on, all the current is flowing towards the emitter and no current is flowing towards the collector. So T2 will be off. If T2 is off, then no current at the input of at the base of T4. So that is why T4 is also off. So combinedly you can see at the output T3 is also off and T4 is also off, and overall the impedance is high. So in this state also we have the output as high impedance state. So Control input, if it is connected to 0 or low, then this state will arising here. It will not bother about the data input. Whatever the conditions are of data input, either they will be 0 or it will be 1. The state will be high impedance in both the cases. So if control input is 0, there will be high impedance state at the output. Now let us move to the third condition. Now control input is connected to logic 1 and data input is connected to logic 0. In this case, if control input is connected to logic 0, that means that terminal is connected to ground. And here, control input is connected to 1, it means that the control input's terminal, it is connected to power supply plus VCC. So the cathode voltage is plus VCC, and as well as the anode voltage, it is also right now plus VCC. So if cathode and anode has a same magnitude polarity, then the diode will do not conduct, and we can say that the diode is reverse bias right now. So the drive of transistor T5, it is right now removed. So current can normally flow towards the collector of T2 through transistor resistor 1.4 kilo ohm from the power supply's VCC. So it will behave like a normal transistor which was working as a amplifier in T2 in the TTL gate. So T2 will work normally here. Right now the control input is connected to plus VCC, and suppose data input is right now connected to logic 0. So if data input is connected to logic 0, it means that the emitter of transistor T2, it is connected to ground terminal. If it is connected to ground terminal and another emitter, that is control input, it is connected to plus VCC, we do not have to bother about this because both the emitters are parallel and one of them, it is connected right now to ground terminal. So current can easily pass through the emitter which is connected to ground, that is through input A. So all the current in the transistor T1, it will flow towards the ground, and if the current is flowing towards the ground, there will be no current at the collector of transistor T1. Collector of transistor T1, it is connected to the base of transistor T2. So base of transistor T2 will have low voltage. If the transistor connected as an amplifier and if it is getting low voltage at the input, the transistor will be remain off. Now transistor T2 is off, it means that all the current from the power supply plus VCC, it will flow through 1.4 kilo ohm resistor and it will drop across this resistor because the T2 is off. So there is no current conduction through transistor T2. So there will be voltage drop across 1.4 kilo ohm. And this 1.4 kilo ohm voltage drop is high, and this high voltage will turn on the transistor T5. So T5 will be conducting. If T5 is conducting, there will be current conduction from the collector to emitter through transistor T5. So emitter is also getting some voltage, and this voltage is probably high enough to turn on transistor T3. So T5 is on, T3 will be on because of the base of transistor T3 is getting high voltage. So here you can see transistor T1 is on, T2 is off, T5 is on, and T3 is also on. Now let us see what about T4. As transistor T2 is off, there will be no voltage at the emitter. So no voltage at the base of transistor T4. So transistor T4 will be off. So at the output, from the totem pole output, T3 is right now on and T4 is off. So T3 is on, we will get obviously the high voltage at the output. So if you consider input and output relation, input was connected to low voltage and we are getting high at the output. So it will behave like a NOT gate. So from the truth table, it is possible that current control input, if it is connected to logic 1, and if data input of this gate is connected to logic 0, we are getting 1 at the output, that is high at the output. So it will behave like a normal NOT gate if control input is connected to logic 1. Now the last condition, if control input is connected to logic 1 and if data input is now connected to logic 1, let us see how this circuit will respond. Control input is connected to logic 1, that means the drive is removed right now. So T5 can be turn on or turn off depending on the collector condition of T2. Data input is right now connected to plus VCC. That means the emitter of both the emitter of transistor T1, they are connected to plus VCC. The transistor T1's base, it is also connected to plus VCC through resistor 1 kilo ohm, and emitters are also connected to plus VCC. So due to which the emitter diodes of transistor T1, they are said to be in reverse bias, as both the emitters P type and N type, they are getting the same magnitude voltage, so no current is flowing through the emitters. So if current is not flowing, we can say that the diodes are off, and if diodes are off, we can say that they are reverse bias. So both the emitters of this transistor are off or are reverse bias. So if these are reverse bias, we can say that the transistor T1 is off. If T1 is off, all the current from the power supplies plus VCC through base, it will move towards the collector. So no current will flow towards the emitter. So this current is flowing through the collector of T1. It is connected to base of transistor T2. So all the current is flowing through transistor's base. So this current will drop the voltage, and this voltage is high enough to turn on the transistors T2. So T2 is getting high voltage at the base, and transistor T2 is on right now. So all the current from the power supply plus VCC through the collector of transistor T2, it will move forward to the emitter of transistor T2. So all the current is flowing to emitter, and that same current is flowing through the resistor 1 kilo ohm, and it will drop the voltage at this resistor, and this resistor is parallelly connected to the base of transistor T4. So the voltage is directly connected to base of transistor T4, and due to which transistor T4 will have the voltage which is high enough to turn on transistor T4. So right now the T4 is on. Let us move at the upper circuit, that is transistor T5 and T3. As the drive is removed because of control input is connected to plus VCC, and collector of transistor T2 is not dropping any voltage, so all the voltage is sinking towards ground through transistor T2. So there will be no voltage which is available at the base of transistor T5. So if transistor T5 is not getting any voltage at the base of it, then this transistor will be obviously off. And if this transistor is off, there will be no voltage present at the emitter of transistor T5, and this emitter is connected to the base of transistor T3. So base of transistor T3 is also not getting any voltage. So right now T5 is off, which will make T3 to be off. So both the transistor will be off. So at the totem pole output, we have already discussed that T4 is on right now and T3 is on. T4 is on and T3 is off. If T3 is off, there will be off path for the current from plus VCC towards the output. So if no current is there at the output, there will be obviously the output voltage will be low. So in this condition, if control input is connected to 1 and data input is connected to 1, we are getting low at the output. This is nothing but the condition of NOT gate. So A is high, we are getting low at the output. So we can summarize this truth table as, if control input is connected to logic low, then the third stage is arriving here, and that third state is called as high impedance state. When the control input is connected to logic low, and it will not have any effect whatever the data input is connected to the data input A. But if control input is connected to logic 1, it will behave like a normal NOT gate if control input is connected to 1. So if 0 is connected, we are getting 1 at the output. If 1 is connected, we are getting 0 at the output. So it will behave like a NOT gate. So this was the working of tri-state logic circuit. Now in the diagram you can see the tri-state logic gate or inverter gate or NOT gate, how their symbols are shown. You can see there is a NOT gate as usual. There is a triangle and bubble shown here between input and output. Then one of the input is shown here. The control, the input A is connected as a NOT gates input and output as the bubble, and one of the additional input which is called as the control input is connected here. So this is the symbol of tri-state logic, and this was only for inverter. In the same way we can show NAND gate, NOT gate using tri-state logic, but it is out of our syllabus, so we have not discussed here. We have only tri-state logic for only inverter circuit. So in this circuit generally there are two states of output, high and low, and another state of tri-state logic is the third state, that is called as high impedance state, and which is shown here. So this was all about the tri-state logic. So in the exam preparation, this tri-state logic will be questioned in two forms. One form will be like this: explain the concept of tri-state logic. So there you have to only explain the concept of tri-state logic. What is the need of tri-state logic? That is, the two reasons or drawbacks are to be explained. And if explain tri-state inverter gate, then we have to explain the NOT gate along with the diagram. Neat and clean diagram should be there, and with truth table you have to explain it. So there are two types of questions which are asked on the TSL, and which will carry depending on the complexity of the question asked, either 4 marks or for 3 marks. So this was all about the concept of tri-state logic. Thank you.